In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
I can't stop. I swear to God. I can't stop. Like, I can't keep getting away with it. I can't. I don't do anything. I don't move. I go to the gym, I spar today, and it's just another win for the toe. Another win for the toe. I'm telling you, with enemies like the Onions, nobody needs friends. You'd think that these people were my PR squad. I gotta tell you about this. And then we got a full show for you tonight. It's gonna be great. This is the second night in a row now I'm fucking beaming. And the Onions are running coping. And probably coping to me. They're probably coming to me. I've never seen people claim to hate someone so much, yet need their validation. It's like I was made for this. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for starting off so soon. Rusty Grammar with $4.99. Thank you very much, buddy. 383 Novocaine with $2 says stream Biden's farewell speech. When is it? 383. Let me know when it is. Is that tonight? Did I? Oh, Mr. Prep Your Show, be up on the news and all of that shit. Did I fuck that up? God damn it. Well, anyway, welcome to the show. I'm excited. Again. I'm excited again. Remember last night, a bunch of the Onions got together and they, Patrick and them decided, we're going to get Aaron's boxing membership taken away. And I said, all you guys have to do is get one. We put some shit together. And of course, running scared, like always. That's just Rocco. I mean, Patrick, I won't blame Patrick for running this time, even though he never got a membership. So, all talk, no action. But he's also under criminal investigation for the shit that he released. That was mine. That was private. So, he's got to dodge that first. And then I guess we'll see what he's made of. But again, it'll probably be like this. Bah, 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 bah. And then I go, all right, here's what you have to do. Nothing. And like Scott said, he died in 45 seconds of cardiac arrest. But speaking of Scott, I went to the gym today, and I went to box with one of my sparring partners. And Scott stopped me and said, you're not going to believe this. And I'll get to it in just a second. But first, welcome to the show. It's going to be great. I believe the Onions are now 0-12 against the toe. This is the amazing, like I say, I just sidestep it. They run into a brick wall. They call the brick wall Aaron and get mad at me. They do side shows coping about me. You have main shows coping about me, then side shows coping about me. And the one thing I love from my sources in their Discord, one of my guilty pleasures is their fan fiction, the shit they come up with. Like, did you know, I did not know this, but based on this email and their Discord fan fiction and the two postmenopausal chicks, did you know that I've there are court proceedings for me for domestic violence, that multiple women have accused me in court of domestic violence. I didn't know that because the reality of that is it's 0. But according to them, it's 2. It's a little weird. And they call me the liar. That is fun. Like, they have this thing where they're like, Aaron is not as interesting or as bad as we need him to be. We need to make shit up. And I will say this, they are in the right spot. Like, following Patrick Melton is perfect for them. Because Patrick makes up realities until he believes him. Like, he tricks himself into believing that's reality. And his fans have been kind of conditioned the same way. So it does make sense. Like, I'm not blaming them, shitting on them for it. That's just how they are. Bigot on Socialist Media says 0-12, you should keep a tally on your board. I'd fucking run out of room. You think Chad Buzamak's going to let me get rid of the top donations? Oh, shit. I told Chad Buzamak I would take a picture for him and send it to him. He wants a clean picture of that. Don't let me forget. So anyway, I really want to get to this. I'm so excited. The last 2 evening shows I've been so pumped because it's just been onion fail after onion fail. And Scott and I had a great laugh at Patrick and his crew's expense because, I don't know, for like 2 years, they've been trying to get shit canceled on me. And every time it ends up, that group ends up laughing at them. Halada Fachina says 0-12. They suck worse than the White Sox. And then Penguin says, aren't those emails a bitch? No. Scott even told me, he goes, I just sent an email back so they would fucking leave me alone. And he's like, yeah, you haven't finished your safe sport. You're not an official coach yet. I'm like, I know, I'm working on the safe sport. Says, you have your coach's membership. You are a licensed coach. Take the goddamn safe sport. I'm like, I even told him today, I'm like, I don't corner fighters alone at events. He goes, just take the fucking thing. I said, all right. So I have my membership. I have my book. I got to take my safe sport test. Taste Fairy says they're seething in the YouTube chat. Oh, dude, it's going to be way worse. It's going to be way worse after the email Scott and I had a good laugh about today. This might be the most retarded shit I've ever seen. And Penguin goes, live in that delusion. Dude, I've seen your guys' Discord. It's nothing but delusion. You guys invent fan fiction all day. I hope you don't have families because you're ignoring all of them. I know you're probably alone, but you guys create fan fiction about me, which I'm honored, and then you live in the fan fiction. If I cared about you as people, I'd be deeply concerned. Miss Pakistan says, aren't you embarrassed by real people knowing this? No, I'm embarrassed for the people who actually try these gay ops. That's fucking embarrassing. Like, if you had any shame, it would be exercised at this point. Miss Tay with $14.99 says, Rusty Grammar made me donate. Thank you very much, Miss Tay. Oh, boy. We have a little update on the leaderboard today. Yeah, I imagine that it's going to be, I'm sure it's onion cope mode right now in our chat, but it's going to, you watch, it'll take off worse than that here in just a little bit. Oh, are they going to be mad at one of their people for the dumb move that they made? Yikes. Yeah, Rusty Grammar says they're over at the kiddie table coping just a little bit. So we're celebrating another win for the Toe today. After, I'm not making this up. I have the email right here. Scott printed it out for me. I get to the gym today to spar. And Scott goes, Aaron, you're not going to believe this. I go, what? He goes, that fat guy sent me an email again. And I go, oh, no. Now, he sent the email at 11 at night. So that means that the cope was so strong with this person. And they were so mad that Scott and I laughed at their attempt to get my membership canceled that they tried sending off a desperate email. Check this out. Now, remember, these are the people who say, oh, Aaron, he just lies. Aaron doesn't confirm our fan fiction. He's lying. We can't be insane. He's lying. So Showed you last night, licensed coach. Just got to take fucking safe sport. Licensed athlete, memberships, books for both, background checks, the works. Boy, they seethed over that one. An hour and a half after that, 11:02 is the timestamp on this. Someone was still so worked up and so upset that we got the beat on them on the boxing thing that they pretended, I shit you not, they pretended to be a Fox 9 reporter. You might, now look, you're a normal person, so you're going to go, that sounds mentally ill.
You talk like a fag, and your shit's all retarded.
So, someone writes, love this, sad Melton. Dude, we're going to go nice and slow over this. So this guy, Luke Watson, sends an email to Scott at 11:02 at night. Now remember, this is big brain shit. He decides at 11:02, he thinks it would be realistic to say he's a reporter from Fox 9, and they're going to do a story on Aaron being a trainer at your gym. They even brought up Stoney's Bar. And then saying, he's a domestic violence defendant. It's like, well, for the people calling me liars, you sure did lie your ass off. So he goes through this whole thing, makes up this whole list. Like, imagine, like, you had to write this fan fiction in your head. You had to imagine this was you and play this character. This is fucking insane. Like, you know how we went through that video taking Patrick Melton and his lies apart? Where we went, holy shit. Patrick lies, like the private investigator thing. Invents a private investigator in his head. Lies about it, but then, like, builds onto the story of the private investigator that, mind you, doesn't exist. So his followers do the same thing. They're method actors. They're method liars. He pretends to be from Fox 9 and tries to get Scott to respond to it, or they're going to go after his gym. Imagine thinking this is a win for you. Imagine thinking this is anything but another win for the toe. Your obsession with me causes you to cause yourself stress in your own life and makes you pretend to be a news person. By the way, could not be a bigger red flag that you hate your own life. Like, you have to create this false life of a news person writing to a gym owner. So Scott goes, look what these idiots did now. And he sends it to me. Now, he writes, best regards, Luke Watson, Fox 9. Now, what's the first thing you would do? What's the first thing you would do if you were pretending that you were a reporter from Fox 9? First of all, you might maybe take on a name or a persona that's from that news network. Nope. Luke Watson. Scott's like, I Googled it right away. There's no fucking Luke Watson. Like, this person doesn't exist. And then he points to the top of the email and he goes, Aaron, don't you think if you were going to pretend to be a news guy, you might not send it from a Gmail account? I got to say, Scott and I had a very good laugh at this childish attempt to try and strong arm a business owner pretending to be a news person. I'm from Fox 9 at gmail.com. Go check that out. Go to like your local markets news and click the email us link and tell me if it goes to a Gmail account. So Scott and I laughed at this Luke Watson. We had a lot of fun at your expense. I'm really sorry. I know that this was meant to be your big thing and this was the big ta-da, but it's at least 0-12 for the Onions. We had a good laugh. Oh, and then I went and sparred, with my memberships and also, since I have a coach's membership, I got to just go in there with the sparring partner. Like, there didn't have to be another coach or Scott in the ring. I got to do it because when you have a coach's membership, you get to do that. Guys, I gotta tell you, I would just stick to the Discord and writing your fan fiction, because every time you guys try to step outside of your Onion world, like you go out there thinking you look like a knight clad in armor, everyone sees Bozo the Clown. It's fucking insane. But I have to say, you guys have given us a lot of material the last couple days, a lot of laughs, and now Scott is aware that Patrick Melton is really fat and would die of cardiac arrest in 45 seconds if he got in a ring. Oof. Oof. They're even having a hard time coping in the chat. I think they even know that this one's pretty gay, and it made him look pretty bad. My source in their Discord even showed me one person went, guys, don't you think this is a little gay and going a little too far? Like, this is weird now. And I'm like, do you know, like, the lack of self-awareness that Patrick and his crew have? Do you know how bad you have to be to have those people require and develop some self-awareness to go, I think this is a bad look for us? The next thing they're going to do is finally go, are we the baddies? But again, thank you for another win for the toe. Patrick Melton is now officially 0-12 against Steel Toe. And then I'm so excited about my W that I spilled my drink. Oh my God, we're celebrating. It's like we're popping champagne in the locker room. We just won the division. Dude, it's like, I don't think there have been 2 evening shows where I've been so excited to get on, where I'm like, shit, man, the clock needs to move faster. These fucking dipshits keep handing me, they're handing me so many W's, I'm fucking throwing energy drinks all over the place. I'm all hopped up on goofballs. But thank you very much. I gotta say, Luke Watson, thanks a ton. I appreciate it. You've given us so much joy. You gave Scott and I a bunch of joy today, and you gave the show a bunch of joy. Shane M. coping with $5. Says the only thing gay about this is your facial expressions and feminine hand gestures. Oh, I'm sorry. Shane's not coping. He's being funny. Adam with a gifted membership. Thank you very much. 180 away from tonight's goal. Oof. Deutsch Chad says, of course, grooming would be what's on a Melton watcher's mind. I mean, the amount of projection in that community is remarkable. Like I said, there's one show that goes, Aaron should not ask for money. It's not okay that he asks for money. By the way, guys, we have super tips and we've turned our chat to members only. Like I said, like, could I destroy all of these people verbally? Yes, but you don't need to use the energy. You just go, here's what they think now. And what I love about them is they have their own little hug box. So they think all this shit is normal. The minute they step outside of it, they just get flamed. Like whether it's Kiwi Farms, different internet communities, like even people who hate my fucking guts. Even Zumach is like, you guys are all really gay. Like, it should have been so easy for these people to be able to recruit Zumach, but they even lost him because they're too crazy. Actual Steel Toe Wearer says, Aaron, sounds like a Mersh move sending an email. Yeah, like they're at the end of their rope. Like Patrick and company are desperate. They are at the end of their rope and still failing. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm like above it all or I'm like too professional. I'm going to laugh at them for this one. Shit Show becoming a member for 2 months says boxers aren't supposed to be so jiggly titted. Excuse me. Some of my favorites, James Toney, Tyson Fury. Take it back. Larry Holmes. Suck my dick. Oh, and if I'm jiggling in only one way.
Like an Amish lady on a butter churn, and she's got 20 kids and they're out of butter and it's breakfast time.
You have no idea how bad I want to watch Devo in Upstate. That's my fucking new favorite channel. Those guys are just fun. I love them. Princess Chelsea, a.k.a. Mr. Mrs. Henry Wales on Twitter here. Today you got a ton of love from a shit ton of royalists. What? What happened? Thank you for the $5. If you got a link or something, let me know. Thank you for the $5. Someone writing Butterbean in the chat. No. That one doesn't help. Go with Tyson Fury, James Toney, and Larry Holmes. That one's way better. Oh, man. Billy Bob Norris says maybe Luke Watson was a reporter who used to work for Fox 9. That's the only way I can see that even remotely working. Aside from that, it's gay. That's the thing, though. Like, you have to give Patrick and his minions all the benefit of the doubt and help them as much as you can. And even then, it's a win for the toe, and they look retarded. It's so awkward. Like, you have to help them, and they still fail. And again, I think it's because there's no touching grass. There's no going outside. It's just build our own universe and then live in it. Which, I mean, most of us know how unhealthy that is, but I mean, if the Onion crowd wants to be our best lol cow, I mean, they're winning. You guys are the best lol cow that we have. Dive Bar says, Luke Watson, didn't he used to work for Sherlock? All right, the jokes are dead. All right, 175 away from today. Thank you guys for a great start. I see that Penguin is fucking losing his mind in the Rumble chat. He's yelling at you guys for donating. Guys, don't donate tonight. It's going to make Penguin mad. As a matter of fact, definitely don't go to PayPal or Streamlabs or Venmo. Grift coming. Don't go to Venmo, Streamlabs, or PayPal and donate as DJ. What is it? It's a fucking terrible name. DJ Penguin. Do not donate as DJ Penguin. That would make him mad. He would hate it. So definitely don't click any of those links and throw in copious amounts of money to this show as DJ Penguin. I know for a fact that he would hate that. Speaking of money, take a look at what they did this morning. Chad Buzamok's top donations board. Gray Duckling in first with 195. I had a hard time keeping track of what's actually Gray Duckling because he was donating for McBuster today too. But if you missed the morning show, First and 15 was in the Rumble chat, and he was busting McBuster's balls for chatting a lot and never donating. Now, I was like, hey, leave McBuster alone. McBuster's great. Not everybody donates. Everybody plays a role on this show. Just hit like, hit subscribe, throw in some money if you can. We love that. So then the audience decided, let's start donating as McBuster and see if we can get him on the leaderboard today. Well, as you can see, McBuster is in third place in the Chad Buzamok top donations board. Gray Duckling is in first with 195. Not My Demo is in second with 100. McBuster is in third with 65, and Sanford's Son has 60. Now, I think we can move McBuster up that ladder. Can we get him to 195? I don't know. I think we should get Penguin in the top 4, and I think we should get McBuster in the top 4. All it takes, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, where you can give anonymously and just call yourself Penguin or McBuster. And we've got it. I love the idea. Let's do that. Let's see if we can get them both on the board. Well, McBuster's on the board. But I want to see if you guys can continue what the morning show started. Also, we are down to our final 4. We got 4 more Stonies left. $50 to Stonies if you contribute 20 or more to the program. Power Windows says 2025 is looking up for Gay Aaron. Go toe. I mean, honestly, we know that Patrick's out of ideas. We know that the Onions are out of ideas. And now the shitty fan fiction ideas they come up with are all blowing up in their face. That's the thing. Like, you guys do this deal, and I told you this 2 years ago, and you didn't listen to me. You guys do this thing where you make these big, grandiose, sweeping gestures, and they never work, but you keep doing them. Like, you understand, if you guys are going to do this, it's got to work. It's got to stick. Otherwise, you guys just look like gay op retards. Like when you say, we're going to get Aaron investigated by the Secretary of State. You failed. Which, of course you would, because that's a stupid thing to say. We're going to get Aaron's boxing membership taken away and get him kicked out of the gym. You failed. The gym owner is literally laughing at you. So you lost there too. And the only cope you have is to go on and pretend it's a win. You just write. That's what I admire about you guys. Your inability to face the reality of your losses is impressive. All you do, I do appreciate this about you because it's going to lead to more wins for us. When you fail, you just write fan fiction, send it to each other, and hug each other over it. It's pretty effective. I mean, it's delusional and mentally ill, but it's effective. Yeah, look at that. Even Doom says facts. See? I even got Doom. Doom did let me know, though. He said Jesse fucking hates Johnny. I was watching Jesse PS. And I do have to correct Jesse on one thing. He's like, you're in the Dabbleverse. I'm like, no, I'm not. They want me and they need me and they try to pull me in, but I'm not in it. Like, you watch our show every day. We're talking about news, events. We make fun of people every once in a while, but we're just picking off these guys one by one from the outside. And like laughing at Patrick Melton as not being in the Dabbleverse, that's irresistible. I mean, a really big, fat, bullied nerd who tries to be a tough guy with a habitual lying problem and a predilection for talking about really inappropriate shit with kids. I mean, how do you not laugh at a fucking creepy weirdo like that? It's hard not to. So I will correct Jesse on that one thing. We are not part of the Dabbleverse, but Jesse was watching a clip, and apparently Jesse is not a Johnny fan. Jesse was roasting the shit out of Johnny, saying he doesn't pay attention. You know, Johnny doesn't know what the hell's going on. Because apparently, when I was listening to the Ethan Ralph thing, it was one of Jesse's guys, or it was Ralph or somebody who said that Jesse's better than Dick Masterson's third mic. And I said it was Jesse. Jesse said, I did not fucking say that. Johnny is not my guy. I apologize to Jesse PS. I'm sorry. I correct the record. I'm an honest guy. No fan fiction over here. I'm from Fox9 at gmail.com. I swear you'd think they're working for me. Like, if you went and said, Aaron, you're making that up to make onion people look retarded so you look better, I wouldn't blame you if that's what you thought. I'm from Fox9. We're doing a human interest piece on Aaron Imholt and your gym. At gmail.com. Numero uno Josh Denny fan says, I told you months ago, you don't choose the Dabbleverse. The Dabbleverse chooses you. There is no Dabbleverse. Like, it's this tiny little thing, and it's currently imploding on itself. It's now basically 60-year-olds screaming at each other. That's what it is. It's about it. Clopogram says, breaking news live from the Fox News studios. You got to say at gmail.com. You got to say at gmail.com. There's only one way to show that it's a for sure news thing. It's got to be from a Gmail account. Hey, look at that. $20 from Oz. Thank you, buddy. Wow, look at that. Princess Chelsea with $5 says, on X here again, you have gotten over 25,000 views just from a tweet I sent out sharing your view on Snarkle McBunion. Really? I got to go check this out. Thank you guys for the $25, by the way. That's great. 150 away from today's goal. Let's throw in. Let's see if we can get McBuster higher up, and let's see if we can get Penguin. some contributions. That would be wonderful. Mr. Mrs. I got to go on that Twitter. And I got like a 20,000 view bump on something. Mr. Mrs. Henry Wales. Let's do that. Mr. Mrs. Henry Wales. Here we go. Princess Chelsea. Queen of Snickers. All right. He's got 12,000 followers. What a nice little account. What did I say? What did I say that got... Oh, this is about Meghan. Oh, this is probably about Meghan Markle. Hey, wait a minute. Princess Chelsea, could we not do when a lowly ex-radio host in a tiny Minnesota town roasts Harry and Meghan, you know it's bad? Could we not call me a tiny little... I mean, a little more respect. What did I say? How brilliant was I? By the way, thank you very much. Snarkle McBunion and her pathetic cucked prince. What's her name? Meghan and Harry? Meghan and Harry. Yeah, right? Snarkle McBunion and her pathetic cucked prince. He's not... Prince, he's not. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember this last night, or this morning. Well, last night or this morning? I love how I'm like, I remember this. I don't remember what fucking day it is. Oh, it was this morning. Okay. I remember this. I got this, the PayPal thing, and I couldn't understand what the fuck was written on it. We're in there doing a disaster tour trying to turn Archwell into a UN NGO. Meghan and Harry are pathetic. I saw that. And by the way, Patricia, I just sent out your Stonies to you. Should be getting there today or tomorrow.
Yes. I get my Stonies.
I saw that. Excited about their Stonies. Harry and Meghan were in California touring the wildfires. And, when you go somewhere. I remember what I said. Now I'm just watching myself. Now I'm just jacking myself off. Sorry, at gmail.com. Can we please start doing that too? Can we please start doing at gmail.com for everything? Every dollar you send in, everything else, just at gmail.com. Remember, that's the professional way to do it. Cal with $1.99 says no money, so no super chats. Well, rap. Never mind. Well, $1.99, that's very kind of you, sir. I appreciate it. Vadam with $5 says, Aaron, why do these women in the video hate you so much? They need to switch to loving you like I do. Who? Oh, yeah, the antisocial girl. Oh, God, I stir them up big time. That's a weird sexual tension they've got with me. That's a weird thing that those girls have. You can't. They're kind of like elementary school kids with a crush. It's fucking creepy. I should almost get an order against them. Oh, the irony, huh? No, they're just like, look, I don't fault them for anything they do. You have to clout chase, and I'm infinitely bigger than they are. They don't hide their lies very well. They don't keep their shit, they don't keep it thorough. They just kind of, it's again, the fan fiction talking points, and they just run with them. They're also starved for content, so they take a little thing and they have to go, whoa, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, one of them looks like PPP, and they kind of do, you know how PPP does the fake over the top, oh my God. They're kind of like that, just like normal. But then also, they do this thing where they're trying really hard to, like, they're pretending to be what I already am. Like, they desperately want to make enough money to do their show full time, but they never will. Like, it's just never going to happen. So they're angry at me for being able to do my show full time. So they go, he's asking for money. You know, if you just do a good show, you don't have to ask for money. It's like, okay, that is a fair critique. Absolutely. If the next words out of their mouth weren't, all right, guys, remember, we have super tips, and we turned our chat to members only, so you have to pay to chat. Which one is it? Should you not ask for money at all, or are you going to remind people you have super tips, PayPal, Venmo, Streamlabs, super chats, memberships, Rumble rants? Is it that you shouldn't ask for money, or you can't make as much, you can't hit a goal like Steel Toe could? I mean, again, If you're trying really hard to pretend to be what I already am, I can appreciate that. A lot of people do. But don't wrap yourself up so tight that you can't see your own contradictions. That's just a little advice from someone who's been doing it a lot longer than you for a lot more people than you. That's all. Don't get mad and shitty and do a video about what a bad guy I am and how I'm going to headbutt you. Just take it for what it is. I care, and I'm trying to help. It's too easy. Thank you, Vidam, for the $5. And you're right. Why don't they just admit they love me like you do, Vidam? I don't get it. We got Penguin seething his fucking balls off today. Triple N says, you do be headbutting. Oh, yeah, just headbutting all over the place. Shane M says, have you ever been in a fight with a fat person? Well, I mean, I spar with, he almost got me to say, oh, I spar with fat people. That's not very nice. I've sparred with people who are, trying to get in better shape. Yes, they are slower and gas out fast, but bad news if they catch you. No, I don't know. I don't think you've ever done it before. No, fat people typically don't have a lot of power. Because power in boxing doesn't come from just having mass. It comes from technique. It comes from speed. And it comes from judging distance properly. Really, all fat people can do is wheeze and lean on you in the ring. And you tap them to the belly, forget it. They're immobile for like 3 seconds. You can be fat and good at boxing, but you're typically not a power puncher. Turd Burglar says Butterbean. Butterbean was really only a strongman competition guy, and most of his fights were fixed. I don't know if people know that or not. Watch Butterbean against anybody who's a good boxer, and they fucking destroyed him. And his power was nothing. Like, he fought Larry Holmes, and Larry Holmes was, not kidding, 51 years old. 51 years old. And Larry Holmes beat him 10 rounds to nothing. Just beat the fuck out of him. He almost got a knockdown of Larry Holmes, but they found out he stepped on his foot. So it's not, no, in boxing, power is about speed, technique, your body working together, and surprise. So no. And plus, Patrick doesn't have the kind of size that would mean power. Patrick would be hurt badly in a boxing ring. He'd be terrible. He's a dork. He's probably been beaten up a lot already in his life, like bullied as a kid. No, he would not do well. Like Scott said, he could. Scott did say he's like, a guy who's that big is at risk of cardiac arrest. He could die in a minute. It's true. It's true. You got to have some speed in there, man. Thank you, Shane, for the $5. But yeah, being fat does not help you. You can be fat and be in good condition and have good technique, then yes. But being fat is not helpful. Like these pounds I'm carrying around, these are not good for me. They're not good for technique. They slow you down. It doesn't give me... When I weigh 225 instead of 215, I don't have more power. Not at all. In fact, I hit harder when I'm at 215 because I'm in better shape. Yeah, Triple N says he couldn't pass a physical. That back hump seems like a tumor. That's the other thing. I think that's why he always pretends that I'm putting these stipulations on him. I think he's worried. He doesn't want to go take the physical because he doesn't want people to know how much he weighs. That's a big one. And number two, he probably wouldn't get cleared. He probably wouldn't pass. I mean, I know people who are in really good shape who they go to will go to boxing events. You get a little blood pressure check. You get checked out by the doctor before your fight. I've known guys who are in much better shape who their fights get canceled because they can't get their fucking blood pressure down. So, I mean, I'd have to go, once the investigation is over and depending on what happens there, which is a position he put himself in, I would have to go really easy. I'd have to go really light on him, which I think would be funnier because you could just talk shit to him the whole time because he runs a serious risk of getting hurt. It's no joke. Lance with 199 says pretty antisocial is a Melton Masad. I mean, get a better intelligence force, bro. Really. Thank you guys very much for the contributions. You are fantastic, and I appreciate it. Only 140 away from tonight. Hey, guys, send it all the way down. By the way, if you're in another country, I had another guy do this, or if you're someone in another state and you want to do the Stonies thing just because Stonies has become a meme now, let me know. Like, I'll talk to Cheetos. I'm sure he'd have no problem with it. I can type something at the bottom saying not for use or whatever. But some people have asked me, can I just get a Stonies gift certificate? I live in like Massachusetts and I'll never go, but I want something that says Stonies on it. I'll email you. Like, I'll scan and email one of these for you if you want one. I mean, just let me know. Let's go ahead. And we've celebrated enough. I think we've spiked the football on this deal quite enough. I need to control myself. I do get a little excited, but it's fucking 2 days in a row crushing these guys and doing nothing. I've done nothing, and I'm still kicking the shit out of them. All right, let's get to depressing Vikings shit. We do have a clip today of Shane Gillis. Do you know who Les Wexner is? I saw this clip of Shane Gillis on Rogan talking about, like, Gillis is a big college football fan. And he hates Ohio State. I think he's a Notre Dame guy. I could be wrong. But he hates Ohio State, and they're going to be playing each other in the national title game. And apparently, since all this NIL money has been coming out, these billionaires who went to these different colleges just set up fake businesses and just give the schools shitloads of money to use for name, image, and likeness. So I thought that NIL was about, like, the local butcher shop wants to do an event so you can hire one of the Alabama football players to go, or they can sign a shoe deal or something like that. Apparently, it's much shittier and more corrupt than that. Apparently, these billionaires can just hand these kids money now and go, oh, yeah, you're advertising fucking me or whatever, Basically, you can just buy them like slaves, essentially. So this Les Wexner is a billionaire from Ohio, and he basically funds Ohio State's NIL program so that Ohio State can bring in the absolute best recruits and build a juggernaut football team. I learned something about Ohio State that I did not know before. And we're going to get into it in just a second. Let's go to Dive Bar with $5. He says, okay, dude, I went and listened for myself. He offered you a paying gig with most expenses paid. Why not just do that? Can't imagine anyone wants to mess with you and end up going to jail. I'm not going to do his event. Yeah, numero uno says, Dive Bar, are you retarded? Dive Bar is not retarded. I want, like, his event's failing. Like, nobody wants to go to it. You don't ask, like, the guy you want to destroy and your arch enemy to come out and do your live event unless it's struggling. So, no, I'm not going to go out there and help him. And then also, it is, when I talked to my contract lawyer about doing this boxing thing, he said, if Nick's going, this is a trick to get you to violate a certain thing that you have right now, release conditions that you have right now. They're baiting you. Don't risk it. I'm like, oh, that's true. And then he said they're also under criminal investigation in a crime that you're a victim of. So don't fuck around with them. Pants Maestro says your contract lawyer. Guy I use when I need, like, stuff written up. He's a friend of mine who's a lawyer. I don't have a contract lawyer. I don't know how else to put it. My friend who's an attorney, and when I do, like, back in radio, when I would need stuff signed, he'd help me out with that, shit like that. So I asked him about that because Melton lies all the time. So I'm like, I want something in writing because this he's not going to end up in a ring ever. And that lawyer was like, these guys are being criminally investigated, and they're definitely pulling some bullshit. And it's like, nah, don't. It's like he sniffed it out from a fucking mile away. That's for sure. All right, we got some Vikings news. Did I not say this last night? Last night on the show when we were going over those shitty Viking songs, did I not say this was going to happen? I said the Vikings get screwed and fucked over on referee calls one year, and then the very next year they change it. Brett Favre gets fucking annihilated by the New Orleans Saints in the NFC Championship game. What happens? They change the rules on high-low hits, head hits, all kinds of other quarterback shit. The year after, we get fucked over. The Saints are able to win the coin toss in overtime, kick a field goal, and go to the Super Bowl. We don't even get to touch the ball. The next year, the overtime rules are changed. Now, this year, you know all those face mask penalties that got missed? There were like 2 or 3 for the Vikings this year, including one when we were trying to drive down and tie the game in the last 2 minutes against LA in the regular season. And they blew that face mask call on Darnold and called it a safety instead. Well, now apparently the NFL is talking about using replay for face mask penalties in 2025. Dude, this fucking sucks. Every single year when the Vikings get fucked over, they changed the thing the very next season. I honest to God, it's a curse. It's a curse. It's the NFL fucking with us. You know what it is? No, it's just the life of being a Vikings fan. That's all it is. So they reference the Vikings-Rams game in this article. There was no flag. You can't review it. So now this year, replay assistant nor league officials can chime in with an instruction to drop a flag for a missed face mask. But the rules can go out the window in a situation like this where getting it right the wrong way trumps getting it wrong the right way. The league inevitably will get it right, and the rule will be changed for 2025. So that's one of the first things they're going to bring up with the rules committee is changing the rule on replays for face masks. Again, it happens the year after the Vikings get fucked on something. God damn. Numero uno Josh Denny fan with $1 says if you accepted the offer for Hackamania, then you'd need to get a plane ticket, hotel info, and other arrangements, and they'd cry, he's making stipulations. Literally the same thing. Yeah, that's exactly what they do. And they get mad at me when I sniff out their fucking game. It's just, the biggest fucking crybabies I've ever seen. And it's because they don't live in the real world. When you bring up, they live on the internet where you say, yeah, okay, done. And then the minute you go, okay, here in the real world, we grown-ups, kiddies, we have to get this, A, B, C, D, E, and F organized. Quit making stipulations, Dad. I really do. I feel like I am their E-daddy, but I feel like their dad sometimes. It's embarrassing for them. Princess Chelsea with $1 says, I wasn't lying. I plan on coming to Stoney's, but Stoney's could make some type of member card like a grocery store. Geez, they did. They used to give us the physical cards. I don't know why they changed that. I'm not sure. I don't understand. 135 away from today. Thank you very much. Go ahead and chip in. Throw a couple bucks our way. Hey, I got an idea. Let's get under $100 by the top of the hour. That sounds good. Wait a minute. When you're, okay. When your girlfriend just sends you a text that says, want some, you're like, ooh, again? I'd love to. And then you realize the text before that was about soup. So it's like hopes up, like want some? Like, fuck yeah, I do. But then they're like, soup. And you're like, and then at first you want to get bummed out, but you're like, well, fuck yeah, I want some soup. Like, yeah, it's still a good thing. You guys got to watch me go through the whole emotion of that whole deal. Want some? Fuck yeah. Soup? Aw. Well, yeah, fuck yeah, I want some soup. Absolutely. 100%. Did I want it to be the other thing? Sure. Am I disappointed that it's soup? Not in the least. All right, guys, let's go down a fucking rabbit hole here. This one got me a Googling. Now, Sam Show, I didn't Google another thing, but I'm sure we'll end up doing it for you by the end of this. Shane Gillis was on Rogan, and he was talking shit with Jamie, Rogan's producer guy. Joe Rogan's producer is an Ohio State fan. Shane Gillis is a Notre Dame guy. They're meeting in the national championship game. You know how when your buddies, fans of one team, you're a fan of the other, so you bust each other's balls and it's kind of good-natured? Gillis in this next clip kind of took it to street level on this Lex Wexler guy. So usually it's like, if your quarterback doesn't fucking choke, maybe you'll have a chance. Oh, yeah, well, you guys ain't got a run game, blah, blah, like shit like that. But like, Jamie was like, yeah, Ohio State's going to beat Notre Dame. And Shane Gillis is like, the guy who fields your team is a pedophile. Whoa, what the fuck? Look it up. And he's going like, look it up. He's a PDF. Let's go ahead and watch this exchange. And then, I did not know this before Shane talked about it. Let's look up this Les Wexler guy.
I do have an important
free
question.
50.
An important question for the podcast. Jamie, who's the Epstein pedophile that paid for Ohio State's roster this year?
This is information I mentioned to you before, so I don't know that it's even true.
What? Oh, no. You never want to respond that way. Just answer the question directly, face it head on, and just get this over with. You don't want to go, who's the billionaire pedophile who funded your entire team? And then you go, I told you that off air. Yeah, I know, but he hates your fucking team, so of course he's going to use that. That's your fault. I love it when people go, I told you that in confidence. I always say, like, I'm a radio guy. That's a dipshit move.
Wait,
Jamie always
who's
takes the
guy-
establishment position.
Who's the Epstein? Who's the Epstein guy?
Do you want to talk about the Catholic Church?
Lexner?
No,
Hold on.
about the Lex Wexler.
Jamie,
That's his name.
Look at Jamie. You know, that's not fair either. Jamie got a little rattled about his billionaire Epstein guy who funds his football teams. He goes, you want to talk about the Catholic? Well, you know what? No, the Catholic Church thing makes sense because it's Notre Dame. Yeah, I guess Gillis doesn't really have a leg to stand on that one. I mean, you could, like, if it was like the Tennessee Volunteers, you might have something, or the Texas Longhorns, but I mean, Notre Dame, not really the fan base to be lecturing people on pedophilia, you know? That would be like, oh, man, I hate Vito's show. And you're like, Patrick Melton's way different. It's like, no, it's PDF too. It's both of them have a long history of some fucked up shit being said. Let's continue with the Gillis-Jamie thing, and then we'll find out more about this Lex Wexler. I don't know how this guy shows his face in public.
Now, Lex Wexner, what did he do, and why does he pay for your entire roster and most of your campus?
He donates a lot of money to Ohio State.
Yeah, what did he do, though, that's like suspect?
He's a big businessman. I don't know.
I hate this shit. Like, this is so bad. Like, he's got him. This is uncomfortable. Gillis is playing with his food. And that's the problem is, like, Shane comes off as, like, a big, dumb, chubby jock, but he's a smart guy. So he's walking Jamie into the trap, and Jamie knows what he's saying. Jamie just doesn't want to face it. Like, bro, he's not letting go of this.
Oh, what he did specifically.
Did he do anything weird?
I don't know. Do you have any
Jamie doesn't want to get
insinuations you
sued.
want to make?
No, I mean, just insinuations. I have no idea what he did.
I don't know either.
Google
Do you want to
him.
go on Reddit?
Just Google him. See what he did.
Jeffrey Epstein worked for him.
Jeffrey Epstein worked for the guy who paid for your roster?
Oh, boy. Interesting.
Okay.
You're gonna get a head coach spazzing on you again.
Well,
Oh, boy.
I'll tell you, Ryan Day can spaz all he wants. At least Saban is the GOAT.
Yeah.
interesting.
Ryan Day, born on third, thinks he hit a triple, can talk all the shit he wants.
Born on third. Wow.
See now,
Wow.
that's normal, like, sports shit talking. But when you precede it with the Epstein pedo stuff, it just doesn't seem as good-natured. That's all. Rated R Superstar with $1 says, if I missed it, my bad. Your thoughts on Stafford's throw. We talked about it last night. Like, we talked about it last night, and, like, they got to fucking change the rule on that. I don't think they're going to change that rule necessarily, but like the fact that you can be staring at the ground and just go like that, and if a guy's feet happen to be 3 yards away from that, that counts as a pass. Bullshit. They got to allow the refs more discretion on something like that. Fuck intentional grounding that should have been ruled a fumble because he basically dropped the ball to try and get out of a sack. Horse shit. So Lex Wexner, American billionaire, hired Jeffrey Epstein as his financial manager. All right, well, I mean, I'm sure Jeffrey Epstein, being a financial manager, had, shitloads of people that he worked for. So it's not like, this is any kind of red flag. What's that? Wexner was Epstein's main client, and Epstein ran his business out of a home owned by Wexner. Ooh. That's damning. That's the guy who pays for Ohio State's entire roster and funds their NIL money. That's uncomfortable in many ways because it's like, you're a football fan, I'm a big football fan. Like, this guy's a super fan who funds the team, but he also probably engaged in some Epstein shit. And it's like, you don't like my sport. It's kind of like when someone has the same political opinion as you, but they believe a bunch of other really out there crazy shit. And you're like, oh, get off my side. No, not you. I feel worse now. Lex Wexner had Epstein as his financial manager from 87 to 2007. Didn't Epstein go to jail in like 2008? Huh. Just saying, it's rather interesting. Wexner is the co-founder and chairman emeritus of Bath & Body Works Incorporated. Epstein was a businessman who ran a money management firm. Is that what he did? Huh. That's fine. Anything else? Aviation enthusiast, perhaps? Islander, maybe? At gmail.com. Wexner was Epstein's main client, and Epstein ran his business out of a home run by Wexner. See, like, I didn't know that. I had no idea that, like, the guy who funds Ohio State's team was an Epstein dude. Well, and like not just an Epstein dude, by the way, like the Epstein dude. Pants Maestro says, what kind of hat does he wear, Aaron? We know that's where you want to go. Why do we have to do this? And then Triple N right after. Wexner, billionaire Jew, CEO of Victoria's Secret. That's not. And then there's Sam Show. And now people in the chat are writing businessman. No, why? Why? Guys, Pants Maestro was dog walking us into that. Pants Maestro is already a good egg who's a big Steel Toe fan and also likes shows that don't like Steel Toe. He's already walking a tightrope. Why do you got to let a man on a tightrope dog walk you like that? I mean, in Sam Show's case, it's because Sam Show legit does not give a fuck. I will give him that. Like, I bet you Sam Show right now wants this book that somebody sent me. By the way, if this is your first time joining us this week, Cheetos sent me a text. He's like, somebody sent this to Stoney's because they didn't know how to get it to you. So they sent me a book called The Secret History of Jews in America, A Story of Deception and Betrayal. And Cheetos had to drop it off at the house. You guys, I love you. I do. I've loved you for years. You're fantastic. But you're what's the word? Incorrigible? Let's go with incorrigible. Triple N says, sounds like a real page turner. Well, I mean, if you want to know every single, like, American cabinet member that's Jewish in American history, just go to pages like 165 to 189. They've got him in there. This guy, let me just say this. This guy does his research. White House counsel, deputy national security advisor, senior advisor to the president, chief speechwriter, chairman of the Council of Economic Advisor. He's got a whole fucking list that goes on for page after page after. He's still going. I skipped about 4 pages. He's still the guy can't quit. 135 away from today's goal. Lock it in. Throw in a couple of bucks. Another win for the toe. I feel it coming on. Let's continue to drop it down. Gift some memberships. Again, head into Venmo and PayPal and donate on McBuster or Penguin's behalf. And let's get them both on the leaderboard. This was really hard to watch today. I don't know if you're a Marvel movie fan or whatever, but Jimon Hansu, who was in the first few Thor movies, and he's been in Blood Diamond and The Island. Gladiator, of course. Like, he's been in a ton of big movies. Jimon Hansu's a big star. But now he's saying that he is having trouble paying his bills and he's struggling financially. And if you check his net worth, he's worth $4 million. Now, $4 million, you might say, why should I fucking feel bad for this guy? But doesn't it seem like Jimon Hansu, with the career he's had, should be worth more than $4 million? Either way, he says he's in financial trouble. And wait until you hear the reason he gives. Spoiled, privileged, A-list actor. This is the reason why he's financially struggling.
I just came off the boat and off the streets where Steven Spielberg, used me for this film. And even though I successfully did that, they just didn't feel like I was an actor for whom we should pay any respect to. So this.
Are you getting the vibe that he's kind of an entitled, self-important twat? I'm kind of getting that vibe a little bit here.
This conceptual idea of diversity and all that, it still has a long way to go. Systemic racism don't change like that anytime soon. I mean,
systemic racism. That's why he's having problems. All of his issues are due to systemic racism, because you know what a big problem in Hollywood is? They just don't cast any minorities. And, Jimon Hansu's career, he's never been in any big... They don't let him do any big ones like Gladiator. They don't let him have parts where you get overpaid for bit roles, like Marvel movies. That poor Jimon Hansu. I imagine what heights he could have ascended to if only there wasn't so much systemic racism in Hollywood.
I'm still struggling trying to make a living.
Look, I understand that for like an actor in Hollywood, being worth $4 million is not like cream of the crop. It ain't Tom Cruise money. I get that. But it's really hard to look people in the eye, especially African voices. You're on African Voices on CNN. You want to talk to a bunch of people in Africa and tell them that you're struggling to get by and you're worth $4 million? Sell a house, dude.
30 years in this business.
After, 30 years, let's say maybe the first 10 years was really trying to sort of acclimate myself to the industry.
And then establish yourself.
Establish myself. I've been in this business and making films now over 2 decades, and still, with 2 Oscar nominations, been in many.
And I would have won all of those Oscars if it wasn't for the racism. Oh, fucking hell.
Big blockbuster films, and yet I'm still struggling financially to make a living.
Struggling financially to make a living. $4 million. $4 million. He's struggling to make ends meet. Dude. Yankee says, digging deep into the victimhood pool. Triple N goes, how many kids you got? Well, you know what? Let's take a look. How many kids does Jimon Hansu have? Nailed it. 4 children. Kenzo, Ayana, Sienna. Wait, that's only 3. So he's got 4 kids. But 4 kids, $4 million. How old? He's got to be pushing 60, right? How old is Jimon Hansu? He's 60. He's turned 61 in April. Bro, $4 million, what do you got? 20 years left, tops? $4 million, 20 years. You're still going to get roles. You're still going to make money. Yeah, Pick It on Socialist Media says, guy needs a side hustle. Yeah, I think Jimon Hansu, you might be driving around you might need a ride somewhere. Maybe, I don't know what city, New York City, Nashville, LA. I don't know where you are. And you might get an Uber, and who knows, Jimon Hansu might be driving you around. What's up, Jimon? You studying for a role? No, I need this second job because of the systemic racism in Hollywood. I can barely afford to pay my caviar bills. Oh, shit, man. I'm sorry. I didn't know, and I didn't mean to be insensitive. Speaking of insensitive, Triple N, holy shit, you're on one tonight. Holy fuck. Let's go. Oh, this is another person who said in the past that they struggle financially. AOC. Isn't she the one who said, she's still paying off student loans and shit? How much does a U.S. congressperson make? And I'm not talking about the off-the-books income with the insider trading and all that. That's where the real money comes from. And all those Raytheon checks. How much money does a U.S. representative make? $175,000 a year. I mean, in Washington, D.C., that might actually kind of suck. Just a little bit. Echo Test understands the fandom. He says, if he only spent a tiny fraction of that money on a financial planner, I would mention a certain kind of rich, but that would be an hour-long tangent. I can't speak for these animals. 1:35 away from tonight, guys. Our final evening goal of the week. Knock it out in the next hour, and let's call it another win for the toe. April's Massive Penis writes, Heil Aaron M. Holte, the cum-drinking god of gay swingers. Hey, wait a minute. I like that first part. You see, guys, when things about you aren't true, you have fun with them. Maybe your guy can learn that someday. But, well, I guess the things about him are true. No Pen 15 Fathead with $5 says, did I miss the hype train? No, you did not, sir. We haven't done a hype train tonight. We kind of abused the hype train this morning. I'll admit. It worked. Did great. But we kind of abused the hype train. All right, go on PayPal, Streamlabs, Venmo, and Super Chats. Let's keep those 5s and 10s and 15s and 20s rolling in. And we'll have that 130 KO'd in no time. Oh, yeah, here's another article from Numero Uno Josh Denny fan. Sydney Sweeney gets candid about the financial realities of Hollywood. Isn't she like the new it girl? She's 24 years old, and I guess she's having money trouble too. I mean, maybe if you're a young actor and you just started making millions, it could be tough because maybe in your late teens and early 20s, you were waiting tables, you were using credit cards, you were racking up debt. That's possible. You know? That's a possibility. So, the first couple million. I know Louis C.K. said that. Louis C.K. said, you run up so much debt your first few years in comedy. And his big thing was he never paid taxes. He's kind of like Melton, never paid his taxes. And he said when he finally made it, he owed a shitload of money to the IRS. So like his first big paydays he would get, he actually didn't really see a lot of that money. And that's kind of, they fuck over like singers and rappers and shit that way too. They just sign them to these really shitty deals. Like a lot of the artists that American rock bands stole from in the 60s and 70s, like Leadbelly and these other blues singers. So like Leadbelly and those guys, relatively uneducated, not exactly contract negotiators. These record guys would come to them and they would go, hey, Let us have your songs. We'll put out an album. You'll be super famous. We'll give you $10,000 right here up front. And the guy goes, okie dokie. Lead Belly would sign it. $10,000. That sounds great. And then they take all their songs. They give them to other bands, and Lead Belly's broke. And he's like, what the fuck? My song's huge. Why aren't I getting money for it? He's like, oh, you sold it to us. That's what that 10 grand was for. So just because you see someone in a movie or just because someone has an album, it doesn't always mean that they're doing well. You know, it depends. Numero uno Josh Denny fan says it's not tough for any of them. Fuck them all. Or that. You know, the thing I just said, or that. I'm sitting here going, well, guys, you see, the realities of the business are that sometimes people get ripped off, and that's too bad. Numero uno Josh Denny fans retort is, fuck them, they all suck, and they got plenty of money. You know what? I yield. You're right. It's another win for the Uno. All right, so AOC. So speaking of people who are very much in the public eye, very, very famous, but maybe don't make a ton of money, AOC is ranting against bills banning males from competing in girls' sports. That's kind of now with the Republicans taking over in the Congress, they want to undo a lot of this shit from the last 4 years. One of those things is not letting people with 5 o'clock shadows, 6'7" frames, and 8-inch dicks on girls' basketball teams. It's weird for everybody. But the problem is the opposition to this, it's just people who live in two different realities. On one hand, you have people saying having a biological dude play against women is unfair. And then on the other side, they go, you're literally trying to kill these people. So when those are the two positions, it's hard to meet in the middle. Here's AOC speaking about a trans sports bill, and dare I say she's a little fired up. Whether or not she's making any sense, I'll leave that up to you.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair.
You're welcome.
Madam Ranking Member. Here we are today, Republicans who have voted consistently against the Violence Against Women Act.
Boo! Boo! Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this is the pro wrestling part, right? We're supposed.
Who have taken away the right of all women to choose and have control over their own body.
Well, maybe if you guys would pass the Responsibility for Loose Whores Act, maybe we could compromise a little bit. But no.
Who, as women are bleeding out in parking lots across the country, standing there.
What? Are you really? Oh my God, ladies, I had no idea. You're bleeding out in parking lots? You're at the fucking hospital. Go inside. What are you doing? It's a hell of a period you got there. I had no idea. So you guys are just getting abortions in parking lots and bleeding out, or do we have an outbreak of female hemophiliacs? Why? I missed this news story. Clopogram, where the fuck are you? You're my breaking news guy. Why didn't I get the women bleeding out in parking lots story? You're making me look like a fucking asshole. AOC's scooping me, Clopo. Christ.
Allowing us to die.
What?
Now want to pretend today that they care about women.
Bro, I told you before this story that on the Republican side, they're like, it's not fair for dudes to compete against women. And on the other side, they're going to say, you're literally murdering them. I need to tell you right now, I did not watch this clip before we did it. But yet it's almost like I know this shit. Like this stuff to me is more fun than talking about all of our toe wins. I like this stuff. I can't help it. I think the OGs do too. But when I say it's like pro wrestling, you see the script playing out in advance. It's just, you want people to die. That's the argument against everything now. You want to go to the war in Ukraine. You just want people to die. I want people to stay home from the war in Ukraine. You just want people to die. I don't want, bearded dudes throwing elbows with women in the paint in basketball games. Oh, so you just want to kill people. Wait, what?
And why?
Why?
To open up gender and, yes, genital examinations into little girls in this country.
What? Whoa! What the fuck? But you guys are the ones with the We're saying leave the genitals alone. You're the ones who are doing the genital thing. We're the ones saying, hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. You guys are the ones going, should we cut off his dick? Come on.
In the so-called name of attacking trans girls. And to that,
trans girls don't exist. I'm sorry to throw that out there. I'm sorry to hit you with that. Trans little girls don't exist. Attention-starved, mentally ill moms do exist. But trans little girls, we have to stop saying that like it's just an accepted scientific fact. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's no more a scientific fact than kids being dragons just because they pretend to be one is a fact.
today, what we have to say are two words.
Suck it! Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I was back into the pro wrestling thing. I thought we were doing DX, and $20 for a $50 Stoney's gift card. I apologize, AOC.
Not today. The majority right.
Oh, I was way off. Not today. Suck it. Although suck it could be the two words. Not today could be the answer.
Now says there's no place in this bill that says it opens up for genital examinations.
Genitor.
Well,
yeah, they want to do them genitor mutilations on my daughter. I said the only person touching my daughter's genitals is going to be me. That was Cletus. And that girl was a high school senior. He's a piece of shit.
here's the thing. There's no enforcement mechanism in this bill. And when there is no enforcement mechanism, you open the door to every enforcement mechanism.
Huh? There's no... Yes, there is an enforcement mechanism. No dudes playing women's sports. That's, in and of itself, is the enforcement mechanism. If someone sees Bernice from Dodgeball on the basketball team, they go, hey, you. Yep, over here. Nope, you're out.
Trans girls are girls.
Are they? Do you really want to have this conversation? I mean, I can't think of anything more disrespectful to say to girls than that.
And for all the folks that are so concerned, thank you for your concern about women for the first time that I've seen.
Well, why aren't you concerned about women this time? Why are you only, this is bullshit. You're doing the same thing they are. You're only caring about women when it's convenient for your political purposes. Is that what Republicans are doing here too? 1,000%, but so are you. You're down for women until it clashes with your fucking dogma. So are they. You don't get to sit there all high and mighty at gmail.com. Sorry. I can't. I'm catty tonight. You don't get why by the way, we freeze framed her on King Hippo face. You're doing the same thing the Republicans are doing.
I don't know about y'all. I don't know who.
Oh, shit. I don't know about y'all. But I finna pull a weave out in this bitch. What was that? Who was that chick? Who was that congresswoman this morning who was doing all ghetto speak with Nancy Mace? Destiny Jackson or something like that? No, I think Destiny Jackson is the third wide receiver for the Titans.
Who's been to gym class lately, but girls, even if you only believe in two genders, I've played co-ed sports.
Yeah, you fucking weirdos. If you're one of these psychos who only believes in two gender, cuckoo.
I've played co-ed sports all the time. But what this also opens the door for is for women to try to perform a very specific kind of femininity for the very kind of men.
Yeah, the having a vagina kind. God damn. It's not like they're asking them all to be blonde and white. That's Sam's show. They're just saying that the ladies have lady parts. I don't think they're asking for the moon and stars.
Men who are drafting this bill. And to open up questioning of who is a woman because of how we look, how we present ourselves, and yes, what we choose to do with our bodies.
If only we got to judge women based on that. We get yelled at. That being said, you got some split ends, and we really, you know what? Never mind. It's not important right now.
I know who loves this bill.
Who? Hitler? Hitler loves this bill. Bin Laden? Bin Laden. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. Come on. Who is it? No, that's Islamophobic.
Bill. Yes, bigoted folks love this bill. Assaulters love this bill.
Oh, shit.
But also,
How about headbutters? Remember.
CEOs love this bill.
Oh, shit. Rich people. Luigi Mangione hates this bill. Get him out here.
Because Los Angeles is on fire right now.
What? Since when?
And this is the number one priority this majority has. Thank you, and I yield back.
Well, I'm sorry. The Congress is giving as much attention to the California wildfire situation as the California leadership did. Sorry that we all couldn't take a trip to Ghana before we discussed this. What do you want from us? Jesus. Oh, boy. Sam Show says she's even making finger guns. Pew, pew. Bigot on Socialist Media says, isn't she one of these rich people? I doubt she has problems paying rent on time. I don't know. $175 a year in Washington, D.C., you're not going to get rich on that. So I'll give her a little bit of a break on that. Although you never know how much these people make in those, I would call them dirty, underhanded deals, but they're not even dirty, underhanded deals. You know? They're fucking, they're not dirty, underhanded deals. They're allowed. You're allowed to do the insider trading bit. Vadam with $5 says, Jesus Christ. All right, guys, can somebody take Vadam's drink away from him, please? Could we get Vadam to just chill the fuck out? Thank you very much, Vadam, with the $5. Fuck, bro. We'll see you on Rumble Friday, buddy. Sam Show writes, what's wrong with what he just said? That's Sam Show, that was not, we didn't need you for that one. 125 away from tonight's goal. Get after it, boys and girls. Let's get that 125 knocked out. It's the last goal of the evening shows for the week. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats. Like I said, we got 4 more Stoney's gift cards left. Everybody who throws in 20 or more gets $50 to Stoney's. There was a video that came with this story, and it is of a, you know what? I'm not going to say I just saw what the name of one of the high schools was. I'm not going to read it because Sam Show would have too much fun with it. But one of the girls on this, oh wait, what's this? 199 from Sunny says, I got those stoner guys to say the word turned again. I found it to be pretty funny. So hopefully you do too. Oh, God. Oh, no. You sent it from Venmo, though. And I can't click the link. Shit. Oh, man. I love those guys. The Devo, what is it? Devo Stoner Chronicles? It's my new favorite channel. There was a player who scored, I believe, 57 points. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. 29 points to lead San Francisco Waldorf High girls basketball team. 29 points. Let's see how this person scored 29 points. Oh, get the fuck. Dude, it's fucking Christian Laettner playing against a bunch of chicks. This is so fucked up. Look at that. Dude, when they even scream for the ball, they sound like it. Come on. This is what AOC needs to watch so that she can understand why we might need some bills like this. You know that all these people in the stands are fucking uncomfortable. Nobody can say anything. Like, even when they yell for the ball. Ah! fucking Luke Longley with the layup. Get your own rebound. Yep. Oh, no. Get your own rebound again. There you go. Come on. Oh, yeah. Just throw it up high. You got it. There you go. You're going to block the shot? Good defense. Oh, yeah. Good D. Good outlet pass. Oh, yeah. Grab the rebound. Come on. Like, how long are we supposed to take this seriously? Like, how long until we go, look, we got, like, even if it's not a law, like, even if we don't pass something, can't there be like an eye test where we just go, okay, like, I know this is going to cause problems, but you got to go sit down. Like, that's way too much. Scooby Jooby Jew says $175K really isn't a ton considering they have to keep a residence in D.C. and their home district. But they make a shit ton that's not really on the books. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Oh, you know what? Our fan Echo says, sorry, I've been hitting the vape too much tonight. And he got locked out of his other Rumble. Uh-oh, what did you do? What did you do? I love it when people go like, it's so weird, like the drugs that are okay and the drugs that aren't, just like arbitrarily. It's like, if you go to someone and you're like, oh man, sorry, I'm being a dick. I was hitting the vape too much tonight, which is the same as saying, oh, you know, sorry, I'm being a dick. I've been doing too many drugs tonight. It's like, that's like the fact that we just casually say that, like it's a Wednesday night and you're like, Hey, sorry, I'm fucking being a little out of control. I've been doing drugs. And like we're supposed to go, oh, well, you know, naturally, that's fine. You just go, hey man, are you all right? Because you're just kind of being a chatty Cathy and sort of an asshole. No, it's totally fine. No, it's totally fine. It's not a big deal. I've been consuming a lot of narcotics. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I was worried something was wrong. Thank you, Echo. Or no, who is it? It's Nana's Clams. Thank you, Nana's Clams. I appreciate it. It explains a lot because I'm like, Nana's Clams is usually super fucking cool. And now they're just like, I bet your next 3 words are going to say Jew or whatever. Let's go to $1 from Hendy. JL Not Here says that's the Nick defense. I'm sorry, I was doing a shitload of drugs. Hendy with $1 says, Dear Toe, the woman I've been on a few dates with disclosed that she has a penis. I'm not sure what to do and need advice. Try to keep your lips and your butthole as tight as possible. And other than that, get out there, just have a good time, you know, have a few drinks, see where the night takes you. And remember, the dirt road's always an option. Rated R Superstar says most representatives have a studio apartment in their office. We have a friend that is a representative in Minnesota. Ooh, wow. If you guys need to know anything about how the other half lives, talk to Rated R Superstar. He knows all the Richie Riches. April's Massive Penis with $1 says parents, teachers, and politicians that allow this should be burned at the stake. Wow. That goes a little bit further than legislation, I would gather. Thank you guys very much for your generosity. I do appreciate it. 125 away from tonight's goal. We got a half hour to hit it. You guys have been doing great. Cheese, send me your fucking address. Jesus. Jesus, like, I still haven't received a gift card. At this point, I give up. Fucking send me your address. I've been asking numerous times on the show the last week. Send me your address. I'll send it out. I literally have you and D'Amico are the only 2 Stonies I haven't sent out. Everyone else who's gotten Stonies so far has been sent out, but I need to hear from you and D'Amico. Turd Burglar says Chad's gonna beat your hype train's ass in real time. I'm not doing a hype train tonight. I said we did too many hype trains. this morning. We got a little abusive on the hype trains. Let's just knock out the 125 and call the final goal of the evening shows this week another win for the toe. Oh, you know how we talked about Kimmel last night? And how Kimmel was fucking crying about... What was Kimmel crying about last night? Oh, yeah, he's crying about the wildfires, which is fine. I'm not bitching that the guy's crying about the wildfires. But he cries about the wildfires, and then out of the same corner of his mouth, when he cries about the wildfires, he then goes, and then Trump thinks that the firefighters aren't white enough. And it's like, first of all, no, that's Sam's show. Second of all, that's not what he said. And third of all, like, you kind of ruin your crying and your sobbing about the victims and the first responders and everything else when you immediately turn it into Trump, Trumpity, Trump, Trump. It's like he's got a tick, you know? He's got like their steel-toe derangement syndrome and Trump derangement syndrome. Like, you can't get him out of your head, even when you're having like a heartfelt moment, like a nice moment. And you just go, you know, I feel really bad for the people who have been displaced. And the people who have been displaced are just going through a really tough time right now, and we have to help them. And by the way, Trump's a fucking asshole. It's like it doesn't even fit. Like, there's no reason to do that. Well, he had Bill Burr on his show last night. And, look, a lot of people hate Bill Burr now. He's still doing very well. Like, it's not like anybody ruined him. But he has had this thing lately where people think his wife changed him. People think because he married a liberal that he became super liberal. But I defy you to find a time period where Bill Burr was like super right wing, because I don't remember him being right wing. I remember watching his stand up, and I know that he was very politically incorrect. And I think that's the problem, is a lot of people equate politically incorrect with being Republican, and that's not the case. But like even when he was on like Opie and Anthony, he argued with Anthony about race all the time. Anthony and Bill Burr don't get along and don't talk now, and Bill Burr hates him partially because of the wife thing and race talk. So like, Bill's always been politically kind of ambiguous. I don't, it's actually kind of shitty to be like, oh yeah, Bill just married that black liberal chick. Now he changed how he is. I don't think he did. I think a lot of people projected onto Bill what they wanted him to be. And then when he wasn't that thing, they act like he betrayed them. And I just think that's really unfair. It's kind of like when Louis C.K. went after Sarah Palin. And that was a big controversy. And people were like, oh, Louis C.K. fucking cucked to the left. And it's like, no, Louis C.K.'s always been a lefty guy. I don't understand this thing where, like, just because you find someone funny as a comedian, you think they need to agree with you on everything. That's, like, what a bizarre way to live. So Bill Burr was on Jimmy Kimmel, and they were talking about the wildfires. Now, I don't live in L.A., so I guess I can't judge. But from where I'm sitting, it does look like this was a fucking man-made disaster. This was mismanagement at its worst. And when the city of Los Angeles needed a leader, their mayor was in Wakanda. Their governor was putting gel in his hair. And the fire chief was making sure we had enough gays, blacks, Mexicans, white women and stuff on the fire department. It just seemed like the priorities were fucked in Los Angeles. But here's Bill Burr to tell me I'm wrong.
You had to evacuate your home.
Yes. Like most people, I had to. I got lucky, the winds moved, but, the fire was coming and all that stuff. So I feel lucky.
Are you guys back in?
And I think everybody did a great job.
Yeah.
Unlike the internet,
Yeah, right. I know. It's right.
I don't like that. I don't like that because you're sitting there like, oh, the internet says that, the firefighters aren't doing a great job. Who said that? Nobody said the firefighters and the first responders weren't doing a great job. If anything, we were saying the firefighters and the first responders weren't getting the shit they needed to do a good job. They weren't getting the resources like, I don't know, fucking water in hydrants to put the fires out because LA needs to protect minnows up north. So, like, I don't think anyone's saying that the response from the first responders has been bad. We're saying your leadership has been fucking garbage and your governor's going to try to sell the state to BlackRock.
All of these fire experts. Why didn't you just fly a helicopter into the ocean and then just, I don't know, because there was 100-knot winds? You want to do that? You want to do that at night, you lunatic?
Again, nobody's shitting on the people trying to put the fire out. I like Bill. I'm not one of the people who think, oh, he's changed. He's soft now. I still think he's great. I just think he's misrepresenting the criticism a lot of us have. Maybe there are people who are shitting on the firemen. I don't know. I do my show and then I fuck off into the real world. I don't start reading shit again until I prep a show. But I don't really notice a lot of people blaming like firefighters and shit.
How are you?
This was definitely mismanaged.
That's a big word we're hearing now.
Mismanaged, like some idiot on the internet knows how to manage the worst fire in LA.
It's not, okay, in fairness, it's not the fire they're saying was mismanaged. They're talking about brush clearing. They're talking about proper management of a forest, proper irrigation so a place doesn't get too dry and you don't have crazy, dangerous wildfire conditions. Shit like that. Like, if people act like wildfires are just an act of God. Yes and no. There are things you can do to mitigate damage from fires. There are controlled burns. There is brush clearing. There's irrigation. There's shit you can do that California decided not to.
There in his underwear. You know what? Looking at the footage on the internet, I have determined that this here was mismanaged.
You know about helicopters because I remember, and it's interesting now thinking about it because you said that.
About it. I know about the one that I fly. Other than that, I don't know anything about it.
You know
but
something.
If you're on
about...
the internet, you know everything.
I hope you know about it because you said that you got your pilot's license in case like all hell broke loose in L.A. You could get out of L.A. and at any moment did you think I'm going to make a run for that helicopter?
Well, the error in my thought was I didn't realize how expensive helicopters were. So all I have is a two-seater, and I didn't want to have to make Sophie's choice with my family. So, we all piled into the SUV like everybody else. But no, man, these guys were out there clearing the trees, getting the wires back up and everything. I mean...
Right, but those guys are doing a good job. Absolutely. But, let's talk about the fact that your state and that city failed. Like, they didn't do a good job. And, in the future now, maybe we could pump a little water in. Like Anna Kasparian said, maybe we could save some of the rainwater instead of dumping it into the ocean. Maybe we could do a little more brush clearing and some controlled burns. Maybe, just a little.
It was like the perfect awful thing that could have happened, and it did. And I love how all the chatter out there is about bands of illegal immigrants and homeless people lighting fires. They light fires every day. They're living outside. They're cold.
Right, but that's kind of the... It's kind of the problem. It's that the homeless people and people living outside are starting fires. And those fires, the embers from it can carry and they can catch dry brush and the wildfire can start. That kind of making the point there, Bill.
And this theory that some homeless guy without a car went from Altadena all the way to the Pacific Palisades and that we have a hang glider. And they're talking about looting. But CNN and Fox News are not going to bring up the insurance companies that are just going to keep everybody's premiums and still give themselves a bonus.
Well, wait a minute. No. Those people in their underwear on the internet have been talking about the insurance companies being pieces of shit about this. They have been. I just think it's kind of convenient that we get to pick and choose what these critics say is all right and what they say isn't. Insurance companies did cancel people's policies. They are going to deny fire coverage. They're going to find ways to not pay out. And that's a shitty fucking thing to do. But then your governor and your mayor are going to sign rebuilding contracts with Vanguard and fucking BlackRock, and they're going to sell this shit down the river. Let's talk about that too.
Yes. Free Luigi.
Whoa.
I love how they acted surprised. Why did that happen? I have no idea. He wrote on the bullets why it happened.
Boy, Did you notice how quiet they got once Bill Burr came out to be a full Luigi Mangione guy? Yikes. They went from, hang glider, good one, Bill. Luigi Mangione should shoot more people. Oh, come again, what now? Jesus. That kind of turned on him a little bit. Is Bill Burr trying to give back all that Disney money? Jesus. Turd Burglar says 125 still. Oof, buddy. Oof. I can't have an oof. Guys, Turd Burglar saying that we suck and I suck for being short by 125 right now. You know what we need right now? We need a rally. Throw in, let Turd Burglar know we still care. We're 125 away from the goal tonight, and it's our final evening show of the week. So let's get it done. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats. It's all pinned to the top of the chat. Go ahead, throw a couple of bucks in. Let's get this 125 knocked out. I don't need Turd Burglar thinking I'm an asshole and a failure. Could you imagine if a guy named Turd Burglar thinks you're a piece of shit? How are you going to recover from something like that? Sorry. So throw a couple of bucks in. Let's get this hammered out. Let's call this 125 another win for the toe. Oh, there we go. D'Amico got me his address. Perfect. Now, all right. Now I can send D'Amico and Cheese their stuff. Perfect. All right. There we go. Did Cheese get me? God damn it, Chiefs. Quit bitching and give me the fucking address and I can put it in an envelope for you tonight. Boy, Cheese. All right. 125 away from tonight's goal. Get after it. Throw us a couple of bucks. We'll knock that out, hopefully, in no time. As you see, anything over 60 bucks will get you on the leaderboard. Hey. Stephen A. Smith. Not happy about Trump and Obama talking to each other at Carter's funeral. You know, we didn't really talk about this on the show, even though it was a really big story, just because I didn't understand why it was a really big story. Like, people were mad at Obama for talking to Trump during Jimmy Carter's funeral. They sat them right next to each other. I think they put them in order. They went Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump. And, like, what are they supposed to do? Just sit there stone-faced and uncomfortable and angry at each other? First of all, these guys are all wealthy dudes. Like, they don't hate each other. You know, they don't, like, it's all a show. It's all pro wrestling. They're not like, fucking, if I sit next to Donald, I'm not even going to talk to him. I can understand why maybe, like, Bush wouldn't talk to him. Because, like, Donald was really fucking mean to Jeb. And, like, Jeb's wife and all that. So I can see why maybe the Bush family holds a certain grudge. But Obama and Trump, I guess, talked to each other at the funeral, and this caused people, including Stephen A. Smith, to not be happy. Apparently, he says you can't trust Obama now because he was polite at a funeral. Like, what are you supposed to do? Be at somebody's funeral, like, for the family, and you're there for support and to give your condolences, and you're just going to mean mug and be shitty to people the whole time? It's kind of weird. Let's listen to Stephen A. Smith's take on the Trump-Obama thing. Oh, and thank you, Adam Simon, for gifting a membership. Let's go. Let's have a bunch more of those. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, memberships, all of it. Throw it in. Another win for the toe. Let's get this 125 knocked out. And that would be a perfect week of evening shows. We haven't missed an evening show so far this week.
Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show.
Hi, Stephen.
Before I get on out of here today, I want to take some time to get into some politics and
fuck yeah, you tell him, Steve. You've earned it.
Chatter about what we saw last week during the state funeral for former President Jimmy Carter. There were 5 living presidents in attendance to honor Carter, including Presidents Barack Obama and Donald Trump. Here's what Trump said in regards to his apparent friendly exchange.
Al Gore and Mike Pence. Oh, yeah, they put the vice presidents in back. Was Cheney there? I wonder.
Between himself and former President Barack Obama, because, you know, you saw them together sitting next to one another.
Melania still looks fucking nice.
Get it up, smiling, laughing, having a good time, that kind of thing. And this is what President Trump had to say about that. Quote, "I didn't realize how friendly it looked," end quote. And then while watching the video, he continued by saying, "Boy, they look like two people that like each other." And we probably do. And
I feel like he knows. Kind of like when, I'll be honest. Maybe I got a little more in common with Trump than I want to admit. Because I kind of do that to, like, the steel toe hate people. I kind of needle them a little bit with shit like, yeah, maybe we do get along. Maybe it's going really great. And then they get all mad at me. And then by the way, that is not, like, people think I'm proud of myself when I do that. That's a shitty personality trait. I should work on that. But it's so much fun when people come at you with a shitty attitude and then you play with them, and then they get mad at you more, and then you giggle. Like, I know I shouldn't. It's mean because you're like you're manipulating a retard. But, like, I guess don't come at me like that. Again, I always say, like, the people who hate steel toe, the steel toe derangement syndrome people, it's like, you come at me, you want a certain response, and when you don't get it, you get mad at me for what you started. I can't help you.
End quote. Now, many have come to criticize President Obama for his interactions with President Trump.
Why?
Charlemagne the God accused former President Obama of, quote, kissing the ring, end quote, and pointed out...
You don't even know what the fuck they said. This is insane. Like, we're too connected, dude. We're too connected. I've been preaching unplugging every once in a while and touching grass. It becomes more and more important every day. You don't even know... For all they said, Trump went, "How you doing, you piece of shit?" And Obama went, "Not too bad, you cocksucker. I hope you fucking die." Well, feelings mutual, you mother ass, fuck, shit, piss, cunt, cock, motherfucker, tits. Like, you don't know. Like, everyone assumes that they were talking to each other, and they're just like, doesn't Al Gore look like a fag? Like...
that Obama once called Trump a threat to democracy. And, of course, we heard Don...
They all do that. They all call each other Hitler and a threat to democracy and Attila the Hun and January 6th was 9/11 times Pearl Harbor. Like, it's a show.
Lemon going off about it as well on his show.
Oh, well, if Don Lemon doesn't like it.
On X, if I remember correctly. Look. Was it a good look for Barack Obama? No.
Why?
On its face, no. Civility is the order of the day. These are two, one's a former president, one's the president-elect. And so there is a relationship.
Yeah, there was no Cheney there. How about that? George W. Bush is starting to look corpse-like. Ooh, him and Clinton both.
Relationship to some degree that, everybody should have. We get that. We understand that. Some would say Michelle Obama was more representative than anything because, she wasn't sitting next to him, wasn't there.
Michelle Obama didn't even go. She have a date with a lady.
You look at it from this perspective. Here's my thing. It wasn't a good look, but it wasn't a good look because of Trump. It wasn't a good look because of all the things that were said about Trump during the campaign while you were trying to convince tens of millions of people to vote for Kamala Harris.
Okay, Stephen A., let me put it in terms you can understand. Do you and Dan Orlovsky legit hate each other after you argue about football? No. Barack Obama and Donald Trump treat their political arguments like you do football arguments. And then they're just totally fine with each other. That may suck. You may wish they took it more seriously, but that's how these people see it. That old joke that the Republicans and the Democrats fight with each other on TV constantly, and then they go play pool or they go play golf with each other. So I don't. This whole I can't believe Obama spoke to Trump at a funeral. Yeah, what's he supposed to do? Punch him? Man, he should have drop kicked him. I don't know what the appropriate thing would have been. You know how uncomfortable it would have been to be at a funeral with somebody and just stare forward and just like you're breaking your neck not to look. Don't look at him. He's a fucking asshole. Like, and again, let's remember the setting. You're at a funeral. You're there to remember somebody. You're not there to like settle old feuds. Do you think Pence and Trump talked? Now, they did say no. They did say that Trump and Pence didn't talk to each other. But, I mean, I get it. Like, they both kind of feel that they got sold down the river by the other. Pence felt like Trump kind of abandoned him, and Trump feels like Pence was never really on his side, and that Trump was like, a lot of people feel that like Pence was sent to be the running mate to babysit Donald Trump so he didn't get too out of hand. So I don't think those two actually like each other. I think Trump and Vance are probably a better match. 125 away from today's goal. Aaron, are you starting to get nervous yet? A little bit. If we were at 100 by the time we started rattling the cans in like 5 minutes here, I'd feel a little better. But as it stands, 125 away from tonight's goal. Do me a favor, guys. Let's drop in some big chunks on Streamlabs, PayPal, and Venmo. And I'd love to go into the end of the evening shows here with another win for the toe. So if you please, I'd love to do 30 minutes of overtime. So let's not wait until the end. People want me to check Real Raw. Maybe we'll do a Real Raw News check. Maybe we'll check this clip I got from the Stoner Boys a little bit later. But boy, would I really like to not miss. We missed by $50 on Monday morning. So and then we missed twice last week for a combined $60 or $70. So we'd like to keep that. We'd like to keep that to a minimum if we could. So if you can donate to the show, please do that as soon as you can. And let's get this 120 kicked out. Let's go to this last one for regulation here, and then we'll see if we can rally up. This I saw on Twitter. It's a TikTok video. I don't know how guys do that. Like, a courtroom's supposed to be, like, locked down. Like, you can't sneak shit into a courtroom, especially if you're a guy in jail. But this was allowed to happen to an inmate who was being sentenced to 40 years.
Did you just give me 40 years, sir? Yes. You just gave me 40 years. Well, guess what? Sir, don't say something.
So he reaches in to the arm sling he has, and he pulls something out, and he throws it at his lawyer. Now, I'm going to let you guess, because they're going to tell you what that was that he threw on his lawyer in just a little bit. Go ahead and guess what that guy snuck in his little arm sling to throw at his lawyer.
I'm going to prison for a long time. Well, you know that.
Well, you know, I'm going to prison for a long time. Well, you know that.
40 years, you got me. You can't play Jesus and God.
You kind of can. I mean, in a courtroom, it's kind of the judge's job. Gets to be Jesus and God. It's probably why so many people in that line of work try to become judges.
What's wrong with you?
I mean, it's kind of asking you the same question there, bud.
Man, 40 is a death sentence, man.
I mean, we can do the death sentence if you want, just so you can see the difference, but I don't think you're going to like it.
I scared you people all that.
Nobody expected that Ricky had a surprise up his sleeve, or rather, in his arm sling. This genius had hidden pill bottles filled with his own feces and urine. Right.
He was shitting and pissing into pill bottles. I mean, I don't understand it. Like, of all the ways to express yourself for getting 40 years in prison, it does kind of seem like a fleeting kind of vengeance to throw shit and piss on people. I don't really understand what the end game is there.
Right under his arm the whole time. In the blink of an eye, Ricky whips out those bottles of nastiness and throws them at his defense lawyer. The lawyer got a taste of some foul-smelling justice. Ricky is...
Foul-smelling justice. It's not foul-smelling justice. It's piss and poop. You dress it up however you want to. He got piss and poop thrown on him, not foul-smelling justice. Pee-pee poo-poo. Caca.
He's now facing additional charges. That's right. 5 counts of harassment with bodily substances, 1 count for his lawyer, and the other 4 for the poor deputies who got caught in the crossfire.
Oh shit. Once you're facing 40 years though, like what's another couple tacked on at the end for throwing diarrhea at people, right? Vadam with $5 says, imagine Obama on top of Mike riding like riding like a cowboy on a wild bill, both buck naked. What the fuck is going on with Vadam tonight, boys and girls? Has he been doing too many drugs? Because that's the second fucking wild thing that he's thrown out there. Adam Simon, renewing his membership for 13 months, says, come on, Pores, pay it forward. I like that idea. Let's rally up. Everybody jump in. 6 minutes to go. And we're 120 away from tonight's goal. Take a little pity on the toe and see if we can rally up and get this thing knocked out and call it. Let's do it, kids. We've been kind of reestablishing ourselves after that miss on was it Monday morning? We got a win Monday evening, a win Tuesday, a win Tuesday night, a win Wednesday. We've gotten back on the winning track. Let's keep it that way. Let's get a win for Wednesday night. MSO says tonight ain't your night, champ. I'd be a little bummed. Like, we ended up missing by $50 Monday morning. This would be our 4th miss in 2 weeks. That's probably not sustainable long term. Can't be having that. So click that PayPal, click that Venmo. Again, another win for the toe to start this show. And we did a really fucking good show as well. So I feel like a couple of bucks, pretty well earned. 120 away. Let's do it. See the links right there? Click one of them. Throw a couple of bucks in. I promise you, it's very rewarding. You can even throw them in for McBuster, like Gray Duckling did. MSO says, I hear they're hiring at the Food Lion. We don't have any of those here. All right, let's go ahead. Plus, remember, we've still got Plan D, which is fire Johnny, and then I try to go solo as long as I can. So we've still got one more cushion. I'm fucking around. I just want to get the win. Let's do it. 120 away from tonight. Throw in and help us knock out our final goal of the week. And then we'll throw on 30 minutes of overtime. I'll put on a stew. We've got a lot more shit to talk about. Got a lot more things to have fun with. Let's go ahead and rally up. If you enjoy this program, we're glad you're here. Hit like, hit subscribe. But if you really enjoy it, you've listened for a long time, it's always nice if you can throw in a few bucks. We do appreciate it. So Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, links are in the chat. Spamming my own chat a little bit here. Let's go get them. We got 4 minutes left to go. We've got nothing coming in. We $120 we can do. Few big chunk plays, and we'll get right back in it. Couple of 50s, a few 20s. I got a bunch of Stonies here. Nobody wants the Stonies anymore, by the way. I think everybody's got Stonies that want Stonies. I don't want to lose by 120. 120 is a real kick in the dick. So help us out. Rally up. Keep this independent little show that doesn't team up with anyone. We've got no unions, anything like that. Man, we've been flying solo when nobody else can. Nobody else can fly solo. And we do it here on this program. So if you're an OG or you're relatively new, throw us a few bucks. We really appreciate it. 3 minutes to go. $120 away. And, you get me to shut up about money as soon as this all gets knocked out. That's nice. $2 from Scott says, I got a 100 Canadian for a Twister set. Yes or no? Yeah, it doesn't matter what country you live in. You give us $100. I'll send you Twister, my man. I'll send you Twister for $100. I can't punish you for not being American. Wish I could, though. Wish I could. Yeah, that's right. Autographed naked Twister from the toe if you throw in $100. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. MSO says, Ed and Michelle, we can do whatever people want for overtime when we get there. 120 is the number. We got just over 2 minutes left to go. And we got a whopping $2 coming in for the rally. Uh-oh, Scabadios. Look at that. $5 from James. Oh, but he says it's on behalf of McBuster. Thank you, buddy. 115 away. Scott says, send it for $100. Holy shit. Thank you, Scott. And Scott, send me your address, aaronimholtradio@gmail.com. Let me know how I can get that twister out to you. I'll go pick it up. I'll autograph it. And then, let's see, we take 70 of that 100. So that means $45 away from tonight's goal. Thank you very much to Scott for the hundo. Now the rest of you, chip in, knock out this last 45. Let's call it a win for the toe. We've bought ourselves some time. Let's do it. 1 minute left. 1 minute to go. Click one of those links. $45 away. Let's make it a team sport. Let's gangbang that goal. Let's bukkake that goal. Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Venmo, Rumble Rants. Just takes a couple of you clicking that button and throwing in. Vadam with $5 says, did I hear you say you're giving away naked pictures of yourself spread wild eagle? That's fucking disgusting. Vadam. You've lost your goddamn mind. And no, it's spread eagle, not spread wild eagle. I don't know what spread wild eagle would be. What the difference would be. $40 away from tonight's goal. Actual Steel Toe Wearer says, Mersh is doing a show on you tonight, Aaron. Is that before or after he talks to a bunch of kids on VR? I'm just curious. By the way, I don't blame Mersh for doing a show on me. I'm more interesting. I've got a bigger audience. I probably do better money-wise. So I think it's smart for Mersh to do a show on me. I mean, I'm a huge draw. A lot of people do shows on me because you can't get an audience any other way. I mean, if they tried to do a show like I do, they'd fucking fail miserably. No, but they'd have 2 viewers. They can't do what I do. So you just watch me do what I do and you try to piggyback onto it. I don't blame Mersh at all. I actually think it's really smart. If you can't do a show and nobody gives a fuck and you can't make any money, you should absolutely do a show on the toe. 100%. All right, guys, $40 away. We got 30 minutes left. We're doing overtime because we got inside of $50. Do me a favor. Throw us some money and let's get that last 40 taken care of and let's make it a W on our last final evening show of the week. We're very, very close, tantalizingly close even. Throw in a couple of bucks. Another win for the toe. Pants Maestro, you can cope however you need to, buddy. Maybe because your format sucks. No. If you got to follow someone that close, that's envy, brother. I'm sorry. I don't know what the cope needs to be for you, but you're following someone that close. If they start it with you, like if they start going after you and you respond, that's different. But if you talk about them all the time and they never even play a clip of your shit, that's just you following them because you need them. And I've been doing this for too long to not know what that is. And I'll tell you why, because when I see a show that I think sucks, I just pass on it. I just don't do anything with it. Just, okay, there's a shitty show. What do you do? But I do appreciate that people still try to get their copes in there because that entertains me too. All right, boys and girls, $40 away. Let's do it. We got Robert F. Kennedy Jr. tonight. Venmo, Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's get it done. Let's make another win for the toe. Let's do this. This was kind of big news today. So you know how RFK Jr. wants to take a lot of the additives out of the food supply? Wants to get rid of a lot of the bullshit that's in pretty much everything. Well, apparently, and he ain't even in charge yet. Apparently, the FDA is already moving. Like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is already having an impact because the FDA announced today that they are banning red dye number 3, citing cancer effects. This is something that RFK Jr. has been beating the drum on for years. So the problem with it is, though, like, if you've known for years that this shit causes cancer, like if RFK Jr. knew it, there's no way the people in charge didn't know it, which means that they were just working with the companies that produce this fucking poison. And they were going, let me know when you guys have an alternative and you won't lose money adjusting, and then we'll ban the shit. Like, I never, whenever the FDA bans something for health reasons, I never assume they're looking out for me. Let's see what RFK Jr. has to say about the red dye number 3.
What most Americans innocently put into their bodies these days, and most alarmingly, into the bodies of their children. And it's no coincidence that Americans die earlier than Canadians or Germans or Italians or Japanese.
It is really hard to listen to a guy with that voice talk about health. Like, I know there's nothing wrong with him technically because of the voice thing, and it's not because of like his health choices, but like still, like when a guy is telling you that you don't look right or you're not making the right choices, it's kind of hard for this to. And that's the shitty thing about like a lot of people who are good and a lot of people who are telling you the truth. You know, Patrice O'Neill once called it shoving marbles up your ass. Like, we can never get a guy who like looks like Brad Pitt, speaks like Obama to tell us really important shit we need to hear. It's always a guy screaming like Alex Jones, like, God damn it, they're fucking demons and they're going to take our souls. Or it's like RFK going, everything that we're doing is remarkably unhealthy. And it's like, can we just get a guy who's like above suspicion to tell us based shit?
Or Koreans or Australians or most any other comparable country. And it wasn't.
In fairness, Koreans are more compact.
Always that way. Until the early 1990s, our life expectancy was the same or better than other developed countries. Then suddenly, more and more Americans began suffering from chronic diseases, from obesity, cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, Alzheimer's, heart disease, and all kinds of autoimmune diseases. Our maternal mortality rate soared to the highest of any developed country on earth. Same with infant mortality. Like the frog.
Shit, that's fucking depressing. No, the frogs are turning gay. That's what I heard. God damn, RFK Jr. He's even got to put like sad Sarah McLachlan music behind it. DS with $2 says, my man, I miss you. Sorry, Vikings got me paid. Thanks for giving me a cut of your fucking Vikings blood money. I appreciate it. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan. Is this true? He says, hey, fuckface, I gifted a membership on Kick. If so, that's $5 into the goal, buddy. I trust numero uno, Josh Denny fan. I believe him. $35 away from today's goal. Keep throwing in, boys and girls. Let's hammer this out and call it another win for the toe. $35 to go. Keep dropping in. Let's end the week of evening shows on a W. You know, I've never been a fan of, like, as we stick with the political end of things here, as we go to this next story, I've never been a fan of Supreme Court justices being able to sit on the fucking court as long as they want to, like basically die in the chair, like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. But it is the way things are. I also don't like that we've got, I feel like there should almost be a second Supreme Court for like cutting edge technology cases, because we've got people in their 70s and 80s making decisions on the constitutionality of services and technology that they don't even know anything about. As a matter of fact, Justice Samuel Alito, and I hope he was kidding, asked an amusing question of Pornhub's lawyer. Yes, Pornhub's lawyer argued before the Supreme Court. How about that? Pornhub's lawyer during oral argument, of course, Pornhub oral. Would this be like, what would be the Pornhub caption if Pornhub lost a Supreme Court case? nine co-eds seal shut. I don't know. Well, I'm not sure what that would be. DS with $2 says, at least I laid 15. Fourth quarter magic, but worked. All right, I get it. You bet against my Vikings and you won money. Congratulations, I feel like shit. $35 away from tonight's goal. Who wants to be a hero and hammer out the rest of it? Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Rumble Rants, Super Chats. So Justice Alito was hearing oral arguments from Pornhub's lawyer in a case challenging the Texas law requiring users to verify their age before accessing pornographic websites on Wednesday. Now, I've always thought, like most pornographic websites, don't they have that thing that they've always had where they go, are you over 18? Like, isn't that enough of a check? Like, who lies, right? Like, when I was a teenager, if I ever went onto a porn site, it said, are you 18? I went, fuck. Oh, darn. Well, I guess it's back to WCW.com. Not 18 yet. Boy, I can't wait till I can go on these dirty websites like a grown-up. So, during a discussion with Alito and Justice Neil Gorsuch, lawyer Derek Schaefer disputed the claim made by supporters of the Texas law that essentially all of the materials on websites like Pornhub are, quote, obscene for minors. What percentage of your client's materials would be considered obscene for minors? Asked Gorsuch. Your Honor, it's tough to arrive at that calculation, replied Schaefer before. Wait a minute. Are we really having this conversation? But it's Pornhub. What percentage of your material is obscene for minor? All of it. All of it. Dude, if you've ever been on Pornhub, some of their material is obscene for 80-year-olds. All ages. It's over the top. Especially the cartoon shit. You guys who are into the cartoon shit. I don't know, man. It's just, I mean, technically, since it's cartoons, is it? No, it's not okay. But, like, Your Honor, it's tough to arrive at that calculation, Schaefer. No, it's not. None of it's okay. Your friends on the other side said it's all, Gorsuch said, who eventually got Schaefer to allow that at least 70% of the material on the website is obscene for minors. Oh, come on. To follow up on Justice Gorsuch's questions, you know, like a pair of anal beads on Pornhub, the lawyer pulled that one right out of his ass. Why don't you talk about the most popular porn sites, which I gather you're representing? So one of the parties here is the owner of Pornhub, right? Said Alito. Yes, answered Schaefer. Do we actually have the...
What percentage of...
Oh, we actually have the audio of this. We'll start with that next time. By the way, DS, $2 says, LOL, my bad. A Stoney's beer mañana. You know, if a couple of you throw in $20, you'll get $50 to Stoney's and we'll hook you up and we'll knock out this $35 goal. What say you? All right, let's listen to this then. Let's see what the... Let's see what the fucking argument was here on porn, some porn being okay for minors. This seems like a bit of a reach.
Of your client's materials would be considered obscene for minors?
Your Honors, it's tough to arrive at that calculation.
Well, your friends on the other side say it's all.
I don't think, no, that is not true, Your Honors.
Virtually all?
No, Your Honors.
Okay, then you give me the number. What percentage?
I cannot quantify it because we're dealing with, I would recognize a very...
Hold on, let me get my laptop and see. That's, wow, I didn't realize a lot of step relatives went into the business. That's amazing. That's, look at that, stepmoms, stepdaughters, obviously stepsons. Holy shit. I mean, are there any... You know, as a conservative justice, I'm a little concerned about the lack of the nuclear family in pornography, if I do say so myself.
Very large universe of material. I would note, Your Honor, that among that material is blogs. It is podcasts.
Oh!
I understand. I'm asking you for a percentage.
You see, Your Honor, a lot of the material on Pornhub is just people talking about whacking off and bukkake. So, you know, some of it's really totally appropriate for people under 18. The fuck, dude?
Your Honor, I cannot quantify that.
More than 50%?
I think that's a fair guess.
More than 70%.
Your Honors, I don't want to go out on a limb. I think that may be correct, but I can't
More than
tell you with
90?
assurance.
This is not going like I'm not. I don't know. This might shock you guys. This could sound so gay. While I may have slept in a bed with one for a few months, I am not a lawyer. It was so shameful and gay. So shameful and so gay. I don't know a lot about this, but it's kind of like you don't have to be an expert in hockey to know when another team is not doing well against the other one. This lawyer is not having an easy time with these Supreme Court justices. Come on, give us a number. How much of your shit is inappropriate for kids? Like, the judge knows the answer, and he's just playing with this guy.
More than 90%?
There, Your Honor, I think we may be stretching upwards.
Okay.
As
so
far as whether it's sexually explicit.
We got 70%, though. Okay. All right. And then do you agree that there is a compelling government interest in keeping obscene materials from minors?
Yes, unequivocally.
Okay.
This is not good, bro. You're the lawyer for Pornhub. You might have just fucked your case right there.
Thank you.
Well, why don't you, to follow up on Justice Gorsuch's questions?
So this is Alito. So that was Gorsuch. This is Alito. He wants to ask the Pornhub lawyer more stuff.
Why don't you talk about the most popular porn sites?
What are we doing here? What are we, guys? Are we having a legal hearing here, or are you just trying to get shit to add to your favorites list? Alito's like, hey, totally for the case, bro. Could you run by me a couple more porn sites, please? Just, for research.
Which I gather.
Something about a hamster? I don't know.
You're
I typed in the hamster thing, and all I got was the things going dick-a-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. They weren't fucking at all.
Presenting. So one of the parties here is the owner of Pornhub, right?
Yes.
And what percentage of the material on that is not obscene as to children?
Well, Your Honor, if we're talking about the youngest minors, I would agree that most of it is, and that is how we read the law.
Is it like the old Playboy magazine? You have essays there by the modern-day equivalent of Gore Vidal and William F. Buckley Jr.?
No. See, this is why I want another Supreme Court for technology type stuff, because these old guys just don't know what they're getting into. No, the modern-day Gore Vidal is not writing articles for Pornhub. He's actually performing in the videos via AI. No, like Tucker Carlson is not going to be writing essays for Pornhub. I have a feeling, just based on just the way the questions are coming in, that the court's kind of made up their mind on this one. Yeah, Sam Show says, sounds like a dog walk to me. A little. It does seem like they are just kind of fucking with this poor guy. They're going to, well, I mean, does Texas have a right to ban porn for people under 18? I mean, you could make the health argument. You do it for cigarettes, 21 for booze. Used to be 18 in some states, but then the federal government started withholding federal road funds. And so they went, all right, fine, 21. You guys are no fun. But no, there's no articles on Pornhub. And if there are articles on Pornhub, it's probably mostly about, like, butt plugs and shit. I don't think it's lofty things. Like, there was a Jimmy Carter interview in Playboy years ago where he said, I have lust in my heart. I don't think Trump's doing a Pornhub interview. $35 away from tonight's goal. Do me a favor, guys. We're awfully close. Finish it off. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Be the hero that we need right now. And let's kick off that last $35 for tonight's goal. Hey, you want some Trump family gossip? I got some fucking Trump family gossip. So I always thought, wasn't Don Jr. the one who was with Gavin Newsom's ex? He was Kimberly Guilfoyle. I thought they were still together. Or is that Eric? Eric Trump wife. No, he's with Laura Trump. So who's Don Jr. girlfriend. Wow, so he's all right. So he's not with Kimberly Guilfoyle anymore. Oh, that's so sad. I really thought those two were going to make it together. Shucks. Well, apparently, get this. The Trump family, not big fans of Don Jr.'s girlfriend. Now, I know a little something about this. I've brought around a particular lady that my family said she's no good. Something fucking wrong with her. You shouldn't be letting her around the kids. Don't fucking marry this girl. Don't do it. There's something fucking wrong with her. And then I found out later, like now that I've started talking to my parents again, that like a lot of the shit April told me that they said to her about me, like this is how fucked up it got sometimes. And I, like, far be it for me to trust my parents more than her, but like I've had it from so many people now where I've said, yeah, April told me that you said this. And they're like, no, I never did. Here's what happened. Like the Adrian thing, like her saying Adrian tried to get her to touch him inappropriately. And he's like, bro, I never fucking did that. I'm like, oh, well, that was a big reason for the problems between you and I. Like, and it was. Like, one of the big problems between Adrian and I is my fucking girlfriend at the time told me that he tried to advance on her. Tried to get her to touch him under a table. And he's like, bro, I never fucking did that. Well, like, she would tell me, she would go, yeah, your mom said that she thinks you've probably been cheating on me anyway. And I'm like, that fucking bitch. What a shitty thing to say. So, like, I talked to my mom, you know, after all this shit went down. She's like, oh, my God, Aaron, I would never say that. She goes, I never said that to her. I swear. She's like, I swear to God. She was, like, horrified. She's like, I swear to God, I never said that. And it's just like, that's like the third or fourth person where I've heard from her or I've heard something from her that the other person said, Jesus Christ, no. So I don't know. Usually when the family warns you about someone, I would say more often than not, they're probably right. There are some times where maybe the family's being a little too protective. There are certain circumstances where maybe it's not, you know, they've got ulterior motives. But I think most of the time they're probably being accurate. But apparently Donald Trump is not a fan of his son's new girlfriend, Bettina Anderson. According to multiple sources close to the family who are raising the alarm about the relationship, as the new administration prepares to take over D.C. next week, 7 friends of the Trump family. By the way, the Trump family has like the biggest rats around them. Just going to the media, feeding them shit. You know the media is just going to eat it up. 7 friends of the Trump family who spoke with Mediaite on condition of anonymity said they are deeply troubled by the budding relationship between Trump Jr. and the 38-year-old social media influencer. Oh, he's with a social media influencer. Oh, fancy, fancy. Individuals close to the president have expressed growing concerns about the potential liability posed by his son's new relationship. Well, you know, it's not hard to believe. You know? It's not hard to believe that, like, after he's been with Kimberly Guilfoyle for a long time and, you know, the family probably got to know her and they really liked her and some of them probably became really close friends with her. It's not uncommon that the family's not going to like the next one, which, you know, they have that right, but also it's, I mean, sort of shitty for the new chick because she doesn't really get a chance, you know, to develop her own relationships. Let's take a look. Let's see. Let's judge a book by looking at the cover, and let's see if the Trump family has a reason to be a little wary of this Bettina Anderson. She looks nice enough. I mean, she maybe, I guess you could make an argument. Maybe she looks a little high maintenance, but like not even. But like he's a Trump, so who fucking cares? I don't know. Seems normal enough to me. Here's the other thing though. Like the media, they get like a rumor about the Trumps. and they just go fucking ballistic with it. They run with it. They don't fact check it. They don't do it. Remember the Russian hookers peeing in the bed? It's not like the media hears a rumor about Trump and they go, all right. Let's be responsible. Let's not assume too much. All right, boys and girls. We got to beg one more time tonight. We got to bag $35 and call it another win for the toe and get out of here on a high note tonight. So one or two of you, click the Streamlabs, click the PayPal. Hey, there's Sanford's son with $10. Yeah, we can talk about that. April's charges getting dropped. Yeah, I guess Nick probably feels guilty that he got her hooked on coke and got her in all this trouble, although she made her own decisions. And as part of his plea deal, he's getting her charges dropped, which, we know that Nick got, pulled away by wild horses from his side piece. So is this a way for him to try to, keep that option open? I don't know. But either way, April, the people I've talked to said that April wasn't going to get in a lot of trouble anyway. She would have had the charges dropped if she just would have left. Like, she would have never had them again. But she was going to get like a misdemeanor thing as it goes anyway. So it was never going to be like a big thing for her. It was just going to be something to explain on the old record. In fact, the people I talked to said the whatever she was convicted of probably wouldn't even say explicitly drugs on it. So there is that. All right, let's come up with a whopping $25 and we'll get the hell out of here and call this thing a successful week of evening shows. What do you say? Streamlabs PayPal. We can go to PayPal. You guys want to go? Could you guys click that PayPal link? I had to argue that before the Supreme Court that I could put that in there. But if you guys want to drop a 20 on PayPal, we'll call this thing a victory. Atomic Ray said she sung like a Tweety bird. Well, we know that because they did say that on the body cam, she just fucking ratted everybody out. But like, I can see, like, you're in that situation, you're scared shitless. Everything just comes out. That's like probably one of the few good decisions that were made. All right, boys and girls. We're going to get this last 25 taken care of here. We got 4.5 minutes to do it. Throw in a couple of bucks. We got a good show for you tomorrow, too. I'm excited for tomorrow morning's show. We've got we didn't talk about the Hamas thing. So Hamas and Israel are not excited about Trump coming in. They don't like the idea of keeping that war going while Trump's in there. We also found out more about, remember that Eagles fan that was a total cunt to that Packer fan, that Packer lady? I don't know how I feel about this. They found out where he works. And they got his job. Like, they got him fired from his job. Like, I don't know. Like, I know he called her, like, a dumb cunt. And, like, told her to sit the fuck down and shit like that. But it's like, okay, he was an asshole at a football game. Do you lose your job for being an asshole at a football game? Or is that the new reality we live in now and you just got to kind of plan for that? Like, yeah, you act like an asshole at a football game. Someone might film it. Act accordingly. Maybe that's the way to go. Devo's Weed Chronicles. They said that Devo's about to go live. I certainly don't want to miss that. All right, guys, $25 away. This has been a sticky one to seal up here. Let's somebody just throw it in and let's get out of here for the night. What do you say? 25, not the worst thing in the world, but just kind of a loose end I'd like to clear up. What? Yes, I know. I have a book called The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich by William Shirer. It's something to talk about after the show. It's not something to talk about right now. I'm fucking taking a hot L right now. I don't want to talk about Hitler. I only like to talk about Hitler when I'm in a good mood. $25 away from tonight. 2.5 minutes to go. It's a pesky 25. Let's get it out of here and go home. Thank you guys very much for another wonderful evening of, there we go. I got Scott's information for the Twister set tonight. That looks good. Thank you, buddy, for that $100 tonight. That was huge. Sam Show says you're kind of 10 years late on that cancel culture shit. Well, no, I just always kind of thought that eventually that would even out in the end, but that guy, oh, by the way, the guy who was yelling at the female Packer fan, his job was like as a DEI officer. So the guy who's in charge of like diversity and inclusion is yelling, "You dumb cunt," at a football game. What the hell? All right, guys, $25 away from tonight. Oh, this is a gross I hate this feeling. This is such a fucking gross feeling. Like 25 is basically hitting, but it's not hitting. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. It's a technicality. Let's drop the 25. Let's call it a win. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. That awkward for me. It's awkward for you. Gotta be. It's weird. It's 100% weird. Sam Show says, oh, well, then he was asking. Yeah, Sam Show's totally fine if it's a DEI guy getting fired. Then he's like, oh, yeah, we need to defend that poor woman's honor. Anything else, it's not okay.
Anybody want to knock this fucking thing out so I don't have to slink away from here like a fucking goof?
That would be great. I'm sweaty. I failed tonight. I posted a big, fat, sweaty L. And I gave you all overtime, too. I feel like a failure douche. MSO says, career is disappearing as fast as your hairline. MSO, I'm starting to think you aren't actually a fan of Steel Toe. I'm starting to think you actually just don't like me. And it's not ironic. Huh. Weird. All right, guys. We got 10 seconds left. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. How embarrassing. Don't worry. I don't think anybody's going to clip this and go, aha, look at him. Steel Toe's dying. He sucks. Is Devo's Weed Chronicles going live? 9:30. Okay, he should be going live right now. I can't believe none of you wanted me tonight. I can't believe I've been so rejected. I'm putting those links in there one more time. It's 25 fucking bucks. It's a technicality so that I can feel better and wrap up tonight's show. Is $25 going to make a lick of difference? Of course not. It's purely a pride thing. All right. I'm leaving just to save my pride. I'm out of here, guys. Take it easy. Thanks for not taking pity on the toe tonight. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Yeah. Hach tui. Love you. See you later.